With the cost of games rising and the quality of games kind of being hit or miss, is gaming still worth it as a hobby in 2025? Think back to when you first got a new console or PC. If it was a Switch 2, PS5, or like an Xbox Series X, chances are it was probably the first console you ever bought with your own money. It might have been your first real investment. And with an investment comes the weighing of pros and cons. Should I get an Xbox? Ooh, but I really want to play the new Spider-Man or Wolverine. I'll just play it on PC. Charles, you don't own a PC. That's a good point. Now, I know people are probably expecting me to make a video about a game like Mind's Eye and be like, this is a sign that developers are all super lazy and just want to feed us slop at top dollar. But I'm more so coming at it from an angle of like, could you, or rather should you, invest your time and money in a new hobby? Is it time to put down the controller and pick up something new? The average game releases anywhere from the OG price of $60 to $80 nowadays. Thank you, Nintendo, for jumping the gun and hiking those prices up for us. We appreciate it. You can still find games that drop for less that maybe aren't full length like those higher priced titles. Elden Ring Night Ring came out and that was only 40 bucks at launch, which was cool. But it feels like, as a person with a lot of different interests and hobbies, gaming is my most passively expensive hobby. First off, I am a console gamer.
What?
PlayStation. Yes, I know. But with that comes its own set of like barriers to entry, if that makes sense. You have to buy a console. You have to buy a membership to play online, which is such a freaking crazy thing to have to say, but that is the time we live in. For me, I spend about $130 a year on PlayStation Plus. I have the extra tier. Sometimes I can get it at a discounted rate with like some random sale, which is cool. I do like it though, because it's essentially PlayStation's answer to Game Pass. So it does give me a catalog of games that like I otherwise probably never would have paid for, or they would have just stayed on my list for years. I do wish that it had a better selection of games. The games are not bad by any means. They are like PlayStation titles, like big names that you recognize when you buy a PlayStation, but the monthly offerings are pretty trash. It's very hit or miss. Sometimes they add better games. Like we just got Cyberpunk, I think last month on PlayStation Plus through one of the tiers, which is cool, but like monthly games just are not it. I'd rather have Game Pass, if that makes sense. Most people buy consoles for a variety of different reasons. It's usually upfront costs, exclusives, or, as much as I really don't want to say it, brand loyalty. I don't really want to get into the console wars. I feel like they're kind of like dwindling and we're seeing less of that. It's usually just us arguing down here while the PC gods are like looking down at us laughing. But again, it's something I see less and less of, but I do still think that it matters, at least the brand loyalty side of things. Now, I know that a lot of PC players do like to say it's not that expensive, I guess, long term to buy a PC, but somebody like myself, I move a lot, and so that's kind of been the reason why I haven't wanted to pull the trigger on that. I can throw my PS5 in a suitcase and be okay. PCs, at least from what I've seen, are freaking huge, and you have to break them apart the same way you build them. Again, uninformed opinion. I just don't want to commit to that until I really find a city that I live in and want to stick to. Now, back to costs. A lot of these things for this hobby are like upfront costs. I buy my console. Besides the online subscription, I don't have to pay to play the game every single time, right? I buy the game and I essentially get to play it forever, as long as you have the physical copy and it's not an always online game. I don't ever buy games digital. I don't do that because you do not own it when you buy a digital. I bring that up because it's not the same thing as like dropping $20 on a game is very different than dropping $20 on a movie. When you buy that movie ticket, you're experiencing it then and there. You probably are gonna buy a drink, that's another $10, bro. You don't have to do that, but like, bro, when I go out to the movies, I'm dropping like $30 or $40 and it's only like a 2-hour experience. Whereas I could drop $40 on a game like Helldivers 2 and put well over 40 plus hours into it. In that aspect, I do think that gaming can be a better investment than like, I don't know, being a film, bro, if that makes sense. Last year, I actually did not even spend that much on games. I think I spent either $240 on games or $260. The math will be up here. I'm breaking down these totally complex numbers. I'd say I didn't spend all that much on games, and I still play tons more. Going through a list, I played GTA 5, which obviously I bought years ago, Returnal, Detroit Become Human, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Gotham Knights, Ghost of Tsushima, Sifu, Rollerdrome, Evil West, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Final Fantasy 16 gifted by my mom. Love you, Mom. All in all, I would say I would have spent tons more if I didn't have that membership, so I would say that's definitely like a worthy investment. But the real question is, am I genuinely taking full advantage of owning a PS5? I mean, I didn't really buy that many PS5 games. I didn't get Black Myth Wukong last year. I didn't get Silent Hill 2 or Concord. People lost their jobs. It's not funny. Anyways, but when I think about it realistically, that was only like an additional 2 games that I would have bought that year. So I'm just kind of like, has it been worth it for me as a person that spent $560-ish on their PS5 back in 2023 till now? As a guy that has not bought a new PS5 game this year, I'm gonna say yeah, I do still think it's been worth it. I could have invested in a new pair of boots or a nice bag, but honestly, the hours that I've put into some of these games have been like the most memorable experiences I've had with friends online. Helldivers 2 was some of the most fun I had ever freaking experienced. It wasn't even a game that was on my radar, but with all the like TikTok edits and everyone being like, we should hop on this game. You know, when you freaking buy a game because your friends are like, oh, we should play this, and y'all play it for a week and that's it. Helldivers was not like that, bro. Everybody and their mama had that game, and it was tons of freaking fun, bro. And I genuinely would say it was probably the best $40 I've ever spent on a game. I've only played 17 hours of Cyberpunk 2077, and when I tell you I have done so many freaking side quests in that game, I genuinely would have thought that I put well over like 100 hours into it. That is how like fun and immersive that world is. I just love it so much. I know I have not met Hanako at Embers, but I do need to hop back into that game because I love it. Something that kind of inspired this video was I heard a guy talk about how we never really experienced the era of the PS5. Like it never really came because we still have games that come on the PS5 that also release on the PS4. And I find that really interesting. I don't think the guy is wrong by any means, but like, I think I'm okay with that. Like the PS5 almost kind of feels like a buffer console in a way. I'm kind of accepting the fact that a lot of the games I will buy on PS5, I'm probably gonna have to rebuy on PS6. I don't even want to think about when that console is coming out, but we're all buying GTA 6 on the PS6. Like this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like in an era of 6 Last of Us remasters, I just think that's kind of like where the industry is. But I will say we have got some really great new IPs in the pipeline. I've reacted to a couple of them on my channel. I am very freaking excited for those games, and I'm hoping that they define like the era of the PS5. A lot of them are like Asian developers. There's Blood Message, and there's another game that's like made by a Korean developer. I think it's called Mudong Tale of Two Hearts or something like that. They look great. They look like games that are not going to be able to come out on the PS4, meaning they're really going to be able to, you know, push the technology that I've been, you know, waiting on for all these years. There have been games that have come out that have looked great in X, Y, and Z, but I'm just really hoping those games get to define the PS5 era, because in a time of remakes and remasters, it's great to have games that genuinely look and feel different. So let me know what you guys think. Do you all ever regret buying your PS5, your Xbox Series X, your Switch? Maybe not your Switch 2. We just got that. PC players, let me know how I can get on your level. I am genuinely thinking about upgrading in the future, but like I mentioned, I do tend to move a lot. Let me know if you guys have any game recommendations. What am I sleeping on? What have I not played on the PS5 that I need to hop onto? Leave a like, subscribe. I'm posting more of these chat videos a little bit more consistently, trying to make a little bit better quality for you all. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.